What is going on, everybody? It is Saturday morning, the 10th of August. It's 7 o'clock in the morning here in Germany. This is an extra insanity report. Like you guys know, normally I only do the insanity report during the week. But since I woke up at 3 in the morning to start driving back home today, and the first thing I heard was big time internal drama among the MAGA people and Joe Rogan and other people that are generally on our side. Catturd, for the normie people out there, if I have any normie subscribers, you might not know who these people are, but obviously I think everybody knows who Joe Rogan is. He's got essentially the most popular podcast in the world. He's a stand-up comedian, very successful. He's hilarious, and he's a MMA commentator. And so he's the guy that used to, host Fear Factor, if you remember that show. And so Joe Rogan would generally be considered on the left, but, he has come around to understanding that the left has basically lost all grip on reality and has become completely insane. Catturd is a Twitter personality. I don't know if anybody knows who Catturd really is, but his Twitter handle is Catturd. And I follow Catturd, and he's hilarious, and I like him. Maybe it's a her, I don't know. But apparently, Joe Rogan said on one of his podcasts recently that he thinks that RFK is the way to go. He did not say that people should vote for RFK. He did not say that he was voting for RFK. He's not trying to get people away from Trump and towards RFK. He is not really a political person, other than the fact that he has political people on his show that he asks all kinds of correct questions to, and that they then answer. He gives his opinion on things, but he does not strike me as a massive political animal. So this statement has now caused, Joe Rogan is generally on our side, if you look at it like this, okay? If you're on the side of freedom, logic, reality, anti-leftist ideology, no kids sex changes, no men and women sports, no open borders, Joe Biden has lost his mind, that Kamala Harris is a horrible person and is not worth electing, and then basically people like Joe Rogan, Catturd, Tim Pool, these people, me, we're all kind of on the same side, whether we're on the right or conservative or not. We are the side of let's stop the fucking insanity, okay? That's basically the side we're on. Take it out of the left to right dynamic and just look at it like you got people that are for bringing back sanity, and then you got those people, mostly on the left, a majority on the left, that like living in an insane, non-cohesive, generally crazy, lunatic world. And so it pisses me off when people start bullshit, stupid fights about something that doesn't really matter. Now, I get Catturd's point, right? Basically, the thing is, Joe Rogan has now gotten excoriated by the MAGA crowd and Catturd and those people for saying that John F. Kennedy Jr., or that Robert F. Kennedy Jr., that RFK Jr. is a very well-spoken, very intelligent, very well-read person, and would also would be a good pick for the country. That is not an untrue statement. See, RFK is anti-establishment. He's a little bit more left, but basically he's not really on the left. He's in the middle. He's basically a centrist, like most people are. Okay, so RFK, the way he speaks, the way he talks, the things that he knows, the way he debates, and his positions on saving the country in his eyes, those are coherent, understandable positions. Okay, the guy is not a bad candidate. As a matter of fact, and I can easily say this because currently I do not live in America, but what happens in America is important to me. I personally, and people probably get pissed off about this too, but just finish the video. Don't fucking turn it off yet. You know what I'm saying? At the worst part. You know what I'm saying? That's not fair. Let me say my whole thing. Honestly, if you were looking at the political landscape as it is today, if there was no Donald Trump, if it was RFK against Kamala, it would be RFK all the way. Even for all Republicans, even for all conservatives, it would be RFK. You know what I mean? And RFK is probably the second best option at this presidential election that we have. Okay? The problem is, and here's where I agree with Catturd and those people and the MAGA crowd. Okay? The problem is, RFK's not going to win. Okay? All RFK is really doing in the political landscape at the moment is he is taking away votes from both candidates that have the option to win. And the candidates that have the option to win are Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. You know, RFK probably won't get elected because independents almost never do, and all they really do is function as a, you know, kind of a vote filter. So they filter out votes from both other candidates, which then reduces the chances of Trump winning. But let's be real, okay? Let's be real. There should really be, and you know, the fact that these people like Catturd and these people on Twitter and the MAGA crowd is getting angry at Joe Rogan because they feel like Joe Rogan should promote Trump. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like him saying something positive about RFK was some sort of endorsement, which I don't know that it is. He didn't say he was going to vote for him. You know what I'm saying? He just said that he thinks that out of all the choices, that's probably the best one. You know what I mean? Which may even be true, but the fact is we're not going to know if that's the best one because the guy's not going to win, because that's the way it works in the political landscape in America. The independent generally does not win. It would be, especially in the polarized political landscape we have now. The far leftists basically see RFK as being a far right extremist. Okay? So the whole political landscape view is all fucked up. And so now they're arguing with each other about what Joe Rogan said. And now we gotta, you know, my God, now we gotta fucking excoriate Joe. Joe Rogan is on our side, people. All right? And look, what this shows me is that the people that are hardcore MAGA, hardcore Trump, you know, they are not really that sure of the win. Because you see, I don't really care what Joe Rogan's opinion is about RFK. And I don't really care that much if Joe Rogan votes for RFK or votes for Donald Trump. That one vote really won't make the difference. Plus, it shouldn't make that much difference because the turnout and the amount of votes that Donald Trump could get if people are living in reality, should get, is astronomical. It should be a massive landslide. The only way it's not going to be a massive landslide is if the Republicans and the right don't turn out in massive, massive numbers. Because see, then, I mean, you can already assume the Democrats and the left are going to cheat. They are already cheating. You know what I'm saying? They're already cheating. And the Republicans have not done enough to shore up the election system since 2020. They just haven't. You know what I mean? They just haven't. Some states have done some things, but in general, there's not been a big push to start attacking this ballot harvesting, mail-in ballots, the machines, the whole fucking thing. There just haven't been. So the left will again have the opportunity to cheat, just without COVID. But I think, and I've said this like since day one here, I think that their options are limited. Also, due to the fact that nobody's going to believe that it wasn't stolen this time if Donald Trump doesn't win. So they have to play their cards very carefully here. And the fact is, I think that if the people that are on our side go out in massive, massive numbers, should be the biggest turnout ever, to vote for Donald Trump, I think Donald Trump wins in a landslide. And I think that then the right, if they go with that strategy, doesn't have much to worry about as far as Joe Rogan maybe turning a couple of people onto RFK. It shouldn't be that close, people. It shouldn't be that close of a thing in your mind that you have to get angry and excoriate Joe Rogan for his opinion about another candidate. I too like RFK as a person. I like what he says. I like the way he says it. I think he's very intelligent, very smart, and I think he would be a good president for the United States, just not today. Now it's going to be Donald Trump. It's got to be Donald Trump. Because he's the only one that has a chance of winning between RFK and Donald Trump and Kamala Harris in the middle. You see, it would be a whole different dynamic if Kamala Harris wasn't there and it was Donald Trump against RFK. I think the race would be very close. Okay? But it's not. It's Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, and you know, RFK is kind of like plucking votes from both sides, although I think he's taking more votes from Democrats. my point being, the left is going to see this ridiculous, stupid, silly infighting about some shit Joe Rogan said, and they're going to jump all over it. They're going to make it look like the right is completely divided, that everybody's all fucked up and in each other's hair, which is partially true. Don't give them any extra ammo. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about? Concentrate on getting the, you know what it is? That's the one true thing about the politics, is that the votes that we're trying to get at this point are the normies, not the people that are immersed in politics all day, every day, know every issue, know everything. You know, not people like me that are watching, you know, political shit all day as I'm driving for hours on end. Those regular people aren't doing that. And what we need now is to capture the votes of the regular people. And if you start running around going, Joe Rogan said to Catturd and Catturd got angry, these people are not going to know what the fuck you're talking about. And they don't care. They don't care. They're like, what the fuck are these people talking about? They almost sound as stupid as people who want to cut off kids' genitals. So stop it. That's my advice. And really, what does another person's opinion really matter that much to you? All right? Look. The reason I do this, the reason I do these videos and I write my articles is, yes, I would like to inform people of the way I look at things. And if it appeals to them to look at things the way I look at it, then by all means, adopt my way of looking at it. You know, if that makes your life better, it makes your existence better, you should do it. That's what I do. If I hear somebody's views and see somebody deals with a certain thing and that appeals to me, and I'm like, wow, that person really deals with that or thinks about that in the right way, I'm going to start looking at it like they look at it. That's why I do this. I'm not trying to force you to change your opinion. You know what I mean? And if we don't agree in the end, that's fine. If it doesn't affect me that you agree or not, then it really doesn't matter, does it? So as much as I want to show people that leftist ideology is completely insane and cutting off kids' potty parts is complete lunacy, right? Honestly, it does not affect me if people in America or other people in Germany, for that matter, change their opinion or not, because the fact is I don't have any kids that are getting sex changes. I'm not dealing with anybody in my personal life that has that view and their view is affecting my life negatively. If their view starts to affect my life negatively, then it's very important for me to either change their viewpoint or drop them as an individual that I deal with. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that their crazy view does not influence my life. Joe Rogan's opinion on RFK does not influence anybody's life. Okay? And it's not going to take votes away from Trump. Like I said, you're looking for the normie people now. People that are going to vote for Trump are going to vote for Trump. They're not, no matter what Joe Rogan says, they're not going to change their mind. Okay? So, don't worry about it that much. Look, this kind of plays into something that I wanted to talk to you guys about already, but I didn't want to seem like bitchy. Look, as you guys know, I'm starting out. I'm pretty small. I have no real giant following. You know what I'm saying? And I have like under 10 subscribers that actually pay, which is fine. Okay? Fine. That doesn't matter to me, because the fact is I want to get my message out there, and I want to get it out there to as many people as possible. And if people choose to support me with money, that's awesome. And someday I may turn it into a more monetary type business. But at this point, who am I to demand money from other people? I have no real giant following. And so I will let that take its natural course. Okay? But I also say in all my videos and all my articles, look, the comments are open to everybody. Please comment. Please leave your opinion. You know, we can discuss. We can talk. And I'm willing to talk to anybody, even those on the other side. Yes, sometimes I make snide comments to people on the other side, and I make snide comments to people on my side. I do that. I'm a sarcastic person. I can't help it. That's me. So, now, I finally got one of my paid subscribers 2 weeks ago reacted to an article I wrote or a video. I don't remember. And I don't want to point out which one it was, because I don't want to expose this person, like, you know what I'm saying? You might find out who it is anyway. It doesn't matter. So I posted an article or a video, and she reacted to this. And her reaction was, we must support Israel. Now, I've written different things about Israel. I've made different videos about Israel. And so I asked her, I said, hey, thanks for reacting and blah, blah. And honestly, the reason why I ask people to respond in dialogue is because I want to understand the other side of things as well. I know why I have my opinion. I don't need other people to help me form my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I form my opinion based on what I know, what I think I know, what could be true, what could not be true, use logic, use reason, and critical thinking, and boom, it's an opinion. It's like a recipe, guys. It's a recipe, right? So now I'm curious why her opinion is that one she has. So I said, why is it that we must support Israel? And she said, well, because she feels like Israel is like I can't remember her exact words, but basically her feelings were Israel is like the kingdom of God. The Israeli people and the Jews are God's people, and for this reason, essentially, she put it on a religious reason that she feels like these people should be supported. So I said, okay, and this is really what I think about it, right? So I said, okay, I understand your viewpoint in the sense that that's the reason why you want to support Israel. So I get that. So then please explain to me why somebody who doesn't feel as strongly about it, like me, because I don't care either way, why should I support Israel? And why should I feel okay with my tax money going to support Israel's war with Palestine that actually has nothing to do with me? And why should I not be upset that I don't get a say if my tax money goes to another country to help support its war? Also, I said, if I felt as strongly as you do, and don't take this the wrong way because it's not an accusation, but if I felt like that strongly about Israel, then that would mean to me, like, okay, then it's like whatever Israel's got to do, right? Like, that means that I have to take into account there's a lot of innocent Palestinian people that are going to get slaughtered during this quest for Israel to win. But if I felt that strongly about Israel, then I have to be honest and say, okay, but those dead Palestinian people don't matter to me. If that's what has to happen in order for Israel to, quote, win, then that's what has to happen. See, if I look, because I look at everything like, I bring it local to me. So I look at it like, okay, if there was a family down the street and they were trying to kill my kids, let's say the dad was trying to kill my kids, right? Or trying to kill me. And every time I had to deal with this guy, he was coming over and I had to whoop his ass every time. And he keeps coming over with heavier weaponry and he's sending his kids and blah, blah, blah. At some point I would be like, okay, this has got to stop. And it doesn't matter to me if the rest of his family suffers because of what I do to him, or if because I maybe have the guy arrested and he gets like stalking charges and he goes to prison for 10 years or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happens to him, I don't care about the collateral damage on his family because I just want them out of my existence, out of my life, out of my way. You know what I'm saying? They've been trying to ruin my life. I want them gone. You know what I mean? The same thing applies if somebody's shooting at me and they grab a child and use the child as a shield but shoot at me, I also am, unfortunately, probably going to shoot the child. You know what I'm saying? Unless I have really awesome aim. But I'm not going to just lay down my gun and say, okay, go ahead and kill me because now you're holding a child. So now you win. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't work like that. So basically my point to her was, look, okay, you feel this strongly about Israel. Why should I feel this strongly about Israel? And do you then accept that then you are okay? I would just like somebody to admit it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if your view is, I want to support Israel 100% because they are God's people and it's God's country, then that means by default that whatever happens to the Palestinian side or the other side is collateral damage that is worth it in order to get the outcome you want. So the woman, the woman just unsubscribed. She was a paid subscriber, one of the very few. She just unsubscribed and never talked to me again. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So all I wrote to her was, wow, that's great. So I asked people to engage in dialogue. There very few people actually do, but the ones that do, we actually have a dialogue most of the time. And this will probably happen to me again. You know what I'm saying? This will probably happen to me again. But most of the time we have a dialogue and we talk. There's another lady I talk to all the time. She's also not on the right. She does not support Trump. She is not Actually, we disagree on everything. But we still enjoy bantering back and forth and explaining each other's viewpoints, because maybe there will be something that I say or she says that actually makes something click in one of our heads and go, well, wait a second, I never thought of that. You know what I mean? And that's possible. It happens to me all the time. It's possible. And so we enjoy talking to each other. And in the end, it doesn't affect either one of us what I actually think about something, or what I believe, or what she believes or actually thinks about something. It doesn't affect either one of us. You know what I'm saying? She lives in America somewhere. We've never met. We're not family. We're not close friends. I live in Germany. In the end, it doesn't matter, but we can still be friends. Now, if we all end up in the gulag at the end of this, then of course my mind will change on a couple of these things. You know what I mean? Maybe not with her, but if I end up in the gulag here, and people around me have had this pro-leftist ideology, craziness, trans and blah, and the whole shit, and the totalitarian net closes around us, then of course their opinions suddenly did matter because they voted us into this shit. So then I'll be pissed off. But as long as other people's opinions are not affecting my life directly, what difference does it make? Right? How important really is it? Again, you don't have to do everything I say or adopt everything I say just because I say it. You only have to do it if it makes sense. And see, the reason why people get angry, like this lady who unsubscribed to my Substack, why is she angry? She's angry because I hold that position, or I asked her a critical question about it that she doesn't want to. She's angry because she probably knows I'm correct. That yes, supporting one side of this war 100% means that you don't give a shit about the innocent people on the other side. That's what it means. That's what it means to take a side in a war. Right? If you're on this side, you're against that side. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing a soccer match on your team, or a football game on your team, you don't care how bad the people feel on the other side if you win. You know what I'm saying? You don't care. You want to win. And so the other side doesn't matter. And that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make. And that's why I was trying to ask her. So if I would just want somebody to admit taking the position, just take the position. Yes, say yes, yes. Yes, I would. If I was totally on the side of Israel, I would say, yeah, then fuck the Palestinian people. I'm sorry. If they have to all be wiped out in order for me to attain my goal with Israel, then that's the way it is. I don't take that position, though. You know what I'm saying? So for then somebody to engage in a dialogue, be asked a simple question. I wasn't rude to her. I wasn't mean to her. Obviously she knew the reason why my opinion matters in this case to her so much that she's willing to forget all the other things that I've said that made her want to subscribe to the Substack in the first place. Those things all don't matter anymore now, because now we disagree on this one thing. And it's not even that we disagree, we don't. See, the fact is, we agree because she knows I'm correct on the point. And she just doesn't want to admit it. So the normal reaction to something like that is anger. People get angry when they know you're right about something they don't want you to be right about. See, that's when other people's opinions piss me off too. You know what I'm saying? Other people's opinions do not matter to me at all, unless, of course, their opinion goes against something that I want to be true, and I know that they're probably actually right about that, that I'm like, fuck. But I'm not really pissed at them. I'm pissed at me because I'm actually struggling to change my mind. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know I have to. If I'm presented with new evidence or something that I didn't think about, and that changes the dynamic, then I have to go along. I have to change along with the dynamic. And sometimes I emotionally don't want to do that. And that's where the thinking of these other people stops. Once they get to the point where they reach the point that says, yeah, emotionally, I know that I have to cross this line, but emotionally, I don't want to do it. That's where most people run. They tuck tail and run. That's what this subscriber did. And that's what this whole discussion about Joe Rogan and the whole shit is about. But you know what I'm saying? Is because people know, the Trump people know that RFK is a good candidate, is a strong candidate. Not to win the presidency, but he would be a good president. And that pisses them off because they want Trump to be the ultimate God, the only one that can save everything, which at the moment is probably true. They've already got that truth on their side. But the fact that they're angry because somebody said something good about RFK, it means that they know that these things that were said about RFK are true, and it's going to get in the way of their ultimate goal, which is Trump in office. And guys, to end this out here, the thing is, Trump in office should happen. It should be a fucking cakewalk. So start using your frustrations on Joe Rogan and Catturd and the whole shit on getting people animated to get out there and vote and get involved and stay involved in the political process in your country so that we all get out of this leftist, tyrannical, insanity, lunatic world that we're in right now. We need everybody on our side here to fucking start pushing that message. Go out and vote, because guys, you see what's happening in England? That's coming to a town near you if the democratic political process of voting does not work this time. Because then the only option to remain free, to remain out of the grasp of lunatic gender ideology and leftist woke ideology, violence is going to be then the only option. So this is the time. Everybody get out there. Everybody get out there. Vote, 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 vote. You know what I mean? Please. That is the answer. It's the last chance to do it this way. You know what I mean? I really think so. I really believe this is the last chance we have in America to use voting to try to get the correct candidate, the non-lunatic candidate in office. And I think that's what everybody has to focus on and put their attention to. So, guys, it was a long insanity report this morning, an extra one. You know, I had to do it. I can't stand this fucking bullshit infighting about nothing. So, take it as you will. Have a good rest of the weekend. We'll see you guys next week. If you guys like my stuff, you want to get it for free in your inbox, pay as soon as it comes out. So, videos, the insanity report, the weekly rant, podcast recommendations, all the articles I write, which are also very detailed and good. People like those. And then please subscribe to my Substack, free or paid. The links are below. And if you're watching this on another platform such as YouTube, Rumble, or TikTok, then you can go ahead and follow me there. But I would appreciate if you follow me on my Substack in the end. That's where I try to concentrate all my viewers or all my followers. The Substack is itsallaboutlogic.substack.com, all one word. It's all about logic. Trucker Logic is my handle on Rumble, and my Twitter handle or X handle is @wokerepellent, all one word. Join me all over. Share my stuff around, people. That would help me a lot. And we'll see you guys on the next one.